People are dying. People are going to starve to death. You got to get them rice. I agree. How long? A week? 2 weeks? A month? A year? When do you leave? You got to leave at some point. You got to let that country's economy turn back on. You got to let them be self-sufficient. But here's the thing. It's not profitable for the nonprofit to leave. Too many times as entrepreneurs, ignore what's happening in the political world because we don't want to get dragged down into the mess. But more today than ever before, we need to have a voice. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind. I started Lurn exactly for this reason. So starting today with Freedom Friday, let me be your voice. What's up, you crazy fighting entrepreneurs? Welcome back to another episode of Freedom Friday as part of the Fighting Entrepreneur. This is your favorite person in the whole wide world, Anik Singal. And I got a very, very controversial topic to talk about today because I'm going to prove to you mathematically why giving is the worst thing you can do to the poor or for the poor. Oh man, I know. Right now, someone just cringed and said, "Oh, Anik, how can you say that?" Well, I want to prove it. And I'm telling you today, I'm going to blow your mind. We are going to talk about conspiracy. It's actually not conspiracy. It's actually proven. We're going to talk about the inner depths, the demons amongst our governments, and the things that are going on such a high level that it's too far above us. We just don't even pay attention to it. And it's happening right under our noses every day. There's movies about it. There's factual evidence about it. It's there right in front of all of us. And man, it's staggering. So I'm going to open your eyes into why I believe Africa is still in the state that Africa's in as a continent. Why a lot of the world's third world countries are meant to be there. They're being kept there because by being kept there, the rich, a certain segment of the rich, which, hey, listen, I'm not a part of those people, all right? I walk away from that. But there are some very, very wealthy people that are getting wealthier and wealthier. And here's the crazy part. It's actually the people that are benefiting from this the most are actually not the extremely wealthy. You're talking about the ones that are upper middle class. I know I'm consistently building up. What are you talking about? Yes. You may not even know it, but you might be actually profiting from and getting wealthier and living a more comfortable life right now on the backs of those in third world countries who can barely afford money to buy food, shoes, and shelter. Okay, so before we get started with all of that, of course, listen, are you a part of Lurn Nation yet? Have you gone to LURN.com and joined the revolution? Because after what I share with you today, you're going to get even more live evidence of the fact that we cannot rely on our government to save the world. They are doing the exact freaking opposite. Entrepreneurs, we have to come together and save the world. So we built Lurn.com. This is a community where we're going to put 10 million entrepreneurs from all over the world together, connect them in one community. We're going to go out there, we're going to change the world. This is how I want to change the world. I'm going to build an army of 10 million entrepreneurs and we're going to change the world. So you can either sit by and watch us go right by you or you can join the revolution. Listen, here's the deal, okay? We as entrepreneurs, we're too busy trying to do our own thing. We're too busy trying to make our own dreams come true. We're missing out on what's happening in the real world. That's why I started Freedom Friday, because as entrepreneurs, we need to band together and we need to have a voice so that not only can we impact policy, understand policy, and, well, I guess impact it, change it, because it's changing. So that's why I'm here. That's what I hope. That's what Lurn hopes to do, and that's what Freedom Friday is here for. So let's get started. Okay. So a couple of resources I want to give you right off the bat, okay? Because today I'm going to give you some data, some numbers, but I'm also just going to kind of tell you some stories. And I'm telling you, if you've never researched this stuff, you're going to need to take a shower after this. It's going to shock you. So 2 resources. One of my favorite nonfiction books I've ever read. I've read it twice. I don't read nonfiction, by the way, ever. I don't know what got me to read this. Someone gifted it to me. The title was kind of cool, so I read it. It's called Economic Hitman. Now, I'm literally scared of even recommending this book because I have no idea who in the government's listening and is not going to want me putting it out there. But this is a bestseller. Economic Hitman. I'll go through what it teaches. I'm going to talk about it here. It's true. It's proven. It's not conspiracy theory. It's fact. And it's gross. It makes you cringe. Okay? Economic Hitman, put that on your list. The second thing is what inspired me to actually do this episode, but it's not what taught me. it confirmed what I already know, and I'm on the record for having said many times. I did a TEDx talk about it, and that is Poverty Inc. It's a documentary film. I don't know what I was doing on Sunday, this past Sunday. I was just like on Netflix. It was Netflix or it was Amazon. I don't remember which one. I'm flipping around and I saw the title Poverty Inc. I have no idea. I've never researched. Turns out it's a massive award winner. It's won like freaking 600 awards or some crazy number. But I'd never heard of it. But the title caught my attention because I'm all about, you guys know me, right? With the work that my wife and I are doing. By the way, have you checked it out yet? Our new website is up, singal.org, SINGAL.org. Go out there. You can see some pictures of all the schools we're building, all the projects we're participating in, the villages we're adopting in Africa, where we are not part of the freaking problem that I'll talk about today, but we're actually part of the solution. Yay. All right, so go to singal.org. You can contribute. You can be a part of it. You can help us. You can join forces. SINGAL.org. I'll get over there right now. Okay. Oh, man. Where do I even start with this? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I did a TEDx talk a few years ago. You can go right now. Go to YouTube. Type in Anik Singal TEDx. Okay? That's Anik Singal TEDx. And it'll come up. It's got about 108,000 views. It should have a heck of a lot more. It's so important to understand what I talk about in it. And in this TEDx talk, I factually and mathematically prove why giving isn't working, and it is never going to work. And I actually prove to you why we, as a society, need to change how we give money, how we contribute. Now, anyone that knows me knows I'm a big quote-unquote giver, as people would call it. Now, I give in the right way, but I love helping. I love supporting. My wife and I, in just the last 5-6 years, I think we've contributed over $1 million of our own money. This isn't money we raised from people. This is our money to causes. We've built schools. We've helped adopt villages. We've, when Hurricane Harvey happened, we raised some money. We showed up there. That we did help raise some money. We worked with a school in Nepal. We're helping build a hospital. And so there is a combination. Sometimes we just give. Look, sometimes you just, like, someone's really in need and you just got to go, here's a check, here's some money, get yourself out of this. But for the most part, 90% of our giving goes towards places where we are empowering and we are not creating the cyclical dependency issue. That's what the movie Poverty Inc. goes over. Now, Economic Hitman is like next level. So you should probably watch Poverty Inc. first. Take a few minutes to take a few days or a couple of weeks to absorb that because it's going to hit hard, and then go. Economic Hitman's like next level, okay? Because Economic Hitman just shows you, man, how erosive and corrupt and evil our government can be, and it's hard to digest because I'm a big patriot, man. I love our country. I love America. I love India. Those are my two countries. I love them to death, and but we can be evil sometimes. We got to cut that out. All right. So here's what the premise of my TEDx talk was, basically mathematically proving that. So Poverty Inc. I'll teach it to you by giving you some examples. We'll start with it. And I think you're going to have your own epiphany. So I am going to pour a lot of stuff out of Poverty Inc. So it's going to definitely be a, what's that thing you're supposed to warn people against when you're giving up? Spoiler alert. There we go. Wow. All right. Spoiler alert. So in, I think it was in 2009, 10, 11, 12, one of those years, Haiti had a huge earthquake, right? We all know, Haiti is always on the top of the list of places that needs. We have to give. Now, how long have we as a society been giving to Haiti? And no one ever stops and says, is it getting better? Is it actually getting better? And all the data I looked at before I did this episode says, not really. Okay, marginally. But there's billions upon billions of dollars are poured into this small country. So what the heck is going on? So this earthquake happens, okay? And the world gets into motion. The world kicks into motion. We are going to go save Haiti. We're all going to give. And so people start raising money. People are donating money. We feel good about ourselves. Oh, we're going to help the people in Haiti, and great things are happening. And nonprofits are popping up. And the government of the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Germany, France, all these countries, all these governments are giving. They're like, here's hundreds of millions, here's millions, here's, and all of a sudden, here's the cycle that takes place. So you have a nonprofit that is funded by the government. Now, who funds the government? That's right, taxpayers. So you have a nonprofit that's funded by the government, And the government decides, whoa, we got to get $20 million over to Haiti ASAP. We got to get them food. They have no food. They're out of food because everything is completely collapsed in the country. So, hey, NGO or nonprofit XYZ, here you go. Here's $10 million. You provide food, right? And they're like, yep, that's what we do, sir. Please, thank you very much. We'll take that 10 million. They turn around and they go to a U.S. supplier of rice. Hey, U.S. supplier, can we get a deal from you? Can we get a whole bunch of rice and you give us a bit of a discount? And the U.S. supplier says, heck yeah, of course. We get to help Haiti? Yeah, we're in. We'll give you a discount. Doesn't mean they're not going to make some money. We'll give you a discount. So the 10 million immediately is used to purchase this rice, goes right back into the economy. There's someone who profits from that. So look, that 10 million went from the government, which is taxpayers' money, to the NGO. And in the NGO, there are people, higher ups. There are people earning great money, good money. They are making money. There's expenses, travel, this, that. So some of that money gets used for that. The rest of it is used to buy rice. Now, well, that company who sold the rice gives a great discount. They do it from the heart. And no one has malintention, but they make some money too. Now this rice is moved down to Haiti and poured into the market. What's wrong with that, Anik? People need food. People need to eat. Well, what's wrong with it is what about the people in Haiti that actually sell rice? That's their business. And this rice floods the market for free. They're handing them out. Bags of it. Dime a dozen. Guess what happens to those who sell rice in Haiti? Out of business. Now, here's the deal. Okay, listen, in time of need, at the time of, even the people that sell rice in Haiti probably didn't have the resources to get it out there. So come on, Anik, are you crazy? People are dying. People are going to starve to death. You got to get them rice. I agree. How long? A week? 2 weeks? A month? A year? When do you leave? You got to leave at some point. You got to let that country's economy turn back on. You got to let them be self-sufficient. But here's the thing. It's not profitable for the nonprofit to leave. Guess what? There are people at the nonprofit making money. This is why I said it's not the richest of the richest making money, but it's actually the upper middle class, because there are so many people at these nonprofits earning six-figure salaries, getting their travel paid for, staying in hotels. You know, it's actually in the movie, it shows how a lot of these people who work for these nonprofits live a more luxurious life in these countries because they have servants, they have drivers, and they still live in really nice places, because in all of these countries, there are always the nice resorts. There are always the nice places to live where the rich live. Well, these people get to go live amongst them, and it's being paid for by the nonprofit, which is being paid for by the government, which is being paid for by your taxpayer money. Okay, so it doesn't sound so horrible, right? We're helping people, but the problem is they never leave. Once you establish that relationship, it's so easy to send and sell the message of, oh, come on, these people are, look at this picture, look at this picture, look at this picture, look at this, they're in need. We went there last year because of the earthquake, but we've realized we need to stay. They need our help. The rice must remain free. So this keeps coming. It's putting the local economy out of business. People stop working. Why work? So in the movie, they interview a local Haitian, actually, and he says, listen, before that earthquake, rice was a luxury. We would eat it 2, maybe 3 times a week. It was a luxury. It was like, whoa, we get to eat rice today. Since the earthquake, it's the most eaten food. They have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's free. It's everywhere. It's completely become commoditized. It's okay. Just rice people, right? So it's just the rice sellers. All right, there's more things. Tom's shoes. Now, you know how many times I've bought Tom's shoes? Because I love the message. See, no one means evil. Look, I'm going to look at Tom's shoes and I'm going to call them out. They don't mean evil. Come on, it was a great idea and they're doing something really good, you would think. I just think they're doing it the wrong way. So the messaging of Tom's shoes is if you buy a shoe from us, we donate 1 shoe in return. So I bought Tom's shoes. I'm like, hey, there's someone in some other part of the world that's going to get shoes now. That's cool. Like, I don't care what I'm wearing on my feet. Someone else will get shoes too. So why would I buy Adidas? I'll buy Tom's. Great. Well, it's in the movie as well. What happens to a market when Tom's shoes shows up with freaking 10,000 pairs of shoes? What about the local cobblers? What about the people who make a living off of that? They go out of business. But the worst part is, and someone there, again in the movie, he says this, he's a cobbler, and he said, I went out of business. Tom Shoes showed up. I went out of business. And not only that, Tom Shoes showed up and said, hey, by the way, we'll be back every year. We'll be back every year. So he's like, I really went out of business. People are like, great. We just need to change our shoes once a year. You're going to bring us free shoes. Awesome. We got rice coming from these people. We got shoes coming from this person. We're good. Like, we're going to have this coming from this person because there's more. I'm going to keep getting the story is going to keep getting like crazier. And so, but the problem with nonprofits or a nonprofit social entrepreneurship like Tom Shoes is they said they're going to be back next year. But what if Tom Shoes sales drop? Business happens. What if they overcommit, which they did, and they don't show up next year? Now you have a problem. The cobblers have been out of business because there is no business because Tom Shoes came in and gave shoes to everybody. And next year, no one shows up to give shoes. Now there's a bunch of people that need shoes and there's no shoes and there's no one making shoes. There's no local economy for shoes. And so you actually, believe it or not, by giving, by creating that dependency, you freaking hurt the country because next year, no one's there. Now they got shoes. Okay, you're thinking, Anik, you're picking on rice and shoes. We'll keep going, level higher. Again, from the movie Poverty Inc. Solar panels. So they have this great interview. They take this one entrepreneur in Haiti and they interview him, and he, true entrepreneur, right? Through and through, from the heart up entrepreneur. He creates this idea. He builds solar panels. He starts hiring people. He's hiring people from the local slums. I mean, he's giving them opportunity. These are people that are being recruited into gangs. He's saving them from the gangs, and he's giving them jobs, and they're making money, and he grows. He has like 50 people, 50, 60 employees. They're making solar panels right there. He's getting contracts. He's changing the lights, the street lights to solar lights so they can be energy independent. And he's at a point where he's getting 50 panels sold a month, okay? It's a big deal probably for him because he's growing. 50 solar panels a month. Earthquake happens. Oh my God, Haiti has no electricity. They need electricity. They need power. We got to go in and help them. An NGO pops up, gets funding from the government. Bam, walks in with shiploads of solar panels. Shiploads. Solar panel for you, solar panel for you, solar panel for you. And they stay. You know, this company's sales went from 50 solar panels a month to 5 in 6 months total. They went out of business. So are we really helping? Right? Are we actually really helping? Because what's happening is it's a really, really interesting economic cycle. The government gives, and by the way, there are nonprofits in this movie that they sort of, oh my God, it blew my mind. There are nonprofits whose budget from the government, it's like $500 million, $500 million, $750 million. I was like, geez, man, give me 1% of that and see me change the world. Like, geez, $500 million, $750 million a year. Anyways, so this is your money. This is our money. This is taxpayer money. And the cycle is so cool. Like, it goes from us to the government. And along the way, all of us feel like, yeah, I'm doing good. Right? The government, our politicians are able to say, yes, I have signed on to this petition. I have signed on to this bill that will give $500 million in blah, blah, blah to so-and-so. It's going to save thousands of lives and yada, yada. So like, sounds great to their constituents, and their constituents are like, oh, he's so great. Oh, it's amazing. All right, good. So he gets his out of it. So boom, politician propped up. Okay, now government gives that money to this nonprofit. Well, this nonprofit's probably got a bunch of executives making multiple six figures. They've got a bunch of employees that travel to these places making six figures. They're paying for flights, a lot of which might even be first class. They're paying for great hotels, amazing food, drivers, servants when they're in these countries. They have completely bloated staffing because why not? It's someone else's money. So all those people making salaries, all those people, sorry to say, you're likely benefiting from this. And so they are making money. Then that money that was donated is used to purchase product from local businesses in the country, usually, or in other Western world countries. Basically, it's purchased from people that are not in the economy you're trying to help. You know what? Use that money. Go to Haiti and buy from there. Empower their entrepreneurs. Stop spending it in the country that gave the money. Go over there and freaking rise up the entrepreneurs. You know that solar panel company that was making 50? Go over there and say, here's $5 million. How do we scale this operation up? We're going to give you some. The guy, the founder of the solar panel company actually says the quote that I always say. I couldn't believe it. I paused, I rewound, and he says, instead of giving a man a fish, teach a man to fish. That's not my quote. My quote is, I say, while I teach you to fish, I'm happy to give you a few fish. So I don't say it's bad that we come in with shiploads of solar panels at that moment. It's needed. And even if you gave money and asked that individual to scale up his operation, he's making 50. How much can he scale to? 150? But how about we come in with an immediate need met? And then we come in with funding for the local entrepreneurs and we say, hey, you're making 50. Here's enough funding to get you to 200. We need you to prop it up, man. We need you to start supplying the need here. And you know what? We will use some of this money to make it cheaper. We'll subsidize the solar panel to the people of Haiti when they buy from you. Meaning, if it costs $500 to buy a solar panel, we'll come in and we'll subsidize it by $300. So instead of giving that money back into the same Western country's company and using the subsidies there, give it into the provider in Haiti, and so he still gets his $500 for the solar panel, but the person buying it only had to pay $200, and the money went into the economy, propped up the entrepreneur, got his business going, and guess what? A few months later, get out. Get out. You empowered. Let that country run. But see what would happen if they got out? What's the nonprofit going to do? What are those people going to do? What are they going to earn their salary from? What about the companies in the Western world that are the ones actually getting the subsidies so they can provide the products? Who's going to make money there? I get worked up about this stuff, as you can tell. We're not helping. We're not helping by giving. This is exactly why at Singal.org, we go into empower. Now, look, we give as well. In India right now, there's a hospital that we are going to be sending the full amount of money to finish building. It is deep on our heart to do it. So but then we built a hospital. It's going to serve a community that has no medical care. People die because it takes an hour for them to get to the closest hospital. So it's going to serve that community. And we'll find a way to make it self-sufficient. That will happen. So sometimes there's a place to give, but listen, you got to be able to get out. Give all you want. But if you feel you're in a place where you are hurting them, they're becoming dependent on you. There's no reason for that economy to step up, sit up, and prop up and do. It isn't. Talk to anyone in Haiti, listen to that movie, and they all say, please leave, please leave, please leave. You're hurting us. You're not helping anymore. You're hurting us. There's more nonprofits here than there are companies. So this is a true thing that's happening. In 2012 alone, I just found this one data when I was coming in. 2012 alone, 9 billion was given just from US to Africa. That does not include all the other countries that give money to Africa. That's a lot of freaking money. But yet Africa remains in the same place. Are they having progression? I'm sure they are, of course. But is it at the pace that it should be, man? They've been getting billions. Like, it's not their fault. It's ours. We're not doing it right. Stop subsidizing products in the Western world. Subsidize it in their country. Let their entrepreneurs step up. Come on. This is why I'm building Lurn.com. We are going to empower one another. We're going to empower entrepreneurs all over the world because that's just what needs to happen. I'm tired of the government messing around with this stuff and screwing stuff up. Okay, so I went over some numbers in my TEDx talk. Again, go to YouTube, type in my name, and type in TEDx. So right now, do you know how much money we give as a human society per year? It's crazy. It's like, wow. I was shocked when I saw it. Collectively, as a world, $500 billion a year is given. It's donations. Whether they're going within the community, outside the community, in other countries, whatever. It's $500 billion. It's the most we've ever given in history. We are the most giving society today than we've ever been. So there's silver lining there, right? We always talk about how bad the world has gone, but no, we are a very giving society. Well, that's not even close to enough. If you want to give your way, you got to watch the TEDx talk. As a matter of fact, I think one of these days on Freedom Friday, I'm just going to upload my TEDx talk so you can listen to it. We would have to give, are you ready? If you wanted to take everybody in the world and bring them up to a livable standard of wage, livable standard, meaning they have food, they have shelter, they have clothes, they have the ability to maybe get themselves out of their poor state, which they won't do if you give them so much money. There's really no reason to, but let's just assume everyone that was being given to is super inspired, super motivated. you have to give, are you ready for this math? I do it in the TEDx talk. You have to give 9.2 trillion a year. So even though we're the most giving society today, we're giving $500 billion a year. We are only covering 5.4%. We're 95% behind. If this is the road we want to use to cure the world's poverty issue, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Stop using this money in the same country that gives it. Freaking invest it into the economy, make that country self-sufficient. And yes, it's going to hurt the nonprofit world, but man, is it going to change that country's life around. Here's the deal, guys. I'm sorry. I wanted to get into the economic hitman, but we've gone long enough already. I'm going to save the economic hitman because that's like a whole nother thing. If you want to read the book or if you want to go read a review of it or go read a summary of it, it takes what I just shared with you is good intentions, bad outcomes. I don't think anyone, like if you work for a nonprofit that's getting a ton of money from the government, like you're not evil. Like, please, it's not you. It's the higher ups. It's the people making the decisions. Maybe you can help. Start trying to convince your nonprofit to buy in that economy and not continue buying in the Western world and then shipping it to the economy. Go in that country and empower entrepreneurs and buy it from them. But anyways, it's good intentions, bad outcomes. What you learn with Economic Hitman, it's evil intentions, evil outcomes. And it's just one of those things. So next week, on Freedom Friday, we'll talk about Economic Hitman. And then maybe the week after that, we'll upload my TEDx talk. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to stay on this topic because entrepreneurs, this is proof. Government will not change and save our world. You will. Please, let's start doing some changes, all right? This is Anik Singal reminding you when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. Super excited to bring all of this stuff to you. It's disheartening, but the word is getting out, the message is getting out, and that's what's powerful. This is Anik. I'll see you on the next one. Go to lurn.com, LURN.com. If you're watching on YouTube, come on, leave me a comment below, click subscribe, click the thumbs up icon, click the bell icon. I want to hear more from you. And of course, if you're listening to iTunes, please go give us a great review so we can get this Fighting Entrepreneur podcast out to more and more people. Let's spread the message, create the revolution. Go to lurn.com, join. We're going to put 10 million people in there. You get to be a part of that, or you get to watch us go right by you. All right, this is Anik. See you on the next Fighting Entrepreneur podcast.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.